Are you looking for a different way to address aches and pains that you may have? You've gone to the medical doctor, gone to pain management, and the only thing that they've offered you has pretty much been painkillers, maybe physical therapy or a chiropractor or something like that. But most of the time, if you go to the doctor, they offer you painkillers, and if the painkillers don't work, and you keep having pain and it gets worse and worse, they may even offer surgery. So, one of the top therapies that are available are or is sports medicine, acupuncture, and Eastern medicine in general, which is what I offer. I'm Dr. Bashar Wilson. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, owner of New York Sports Acupuncture, based here in Brooklyn. And here we deal with that complementary, that alternative, or even that first level of care when you have those aches and pains, strains, injury, and working to recover naturally and recover fully. So, what is sports acupuncture? And how does that differ from regular acupuncture? So with sports acupuncture, I'm specializing in helping people to recover from injuries, whether you're an athlete, or if you have overuse injuries from the type of work that you may do, or even folks as you're getting older and your body is just kind of breaking down and you have different injuries in that way. We work to help you to recover from that naturally using acupuncture. And one of the great things about acupuncture is that it works with your body's ability to heal itself and not depending on some outside drug which masks the pain and just kind of just covers it up briefly, where you have to keep taking these drugs. And with most drugs, they're going to have some sort of side effect, which can include damage sometimes to your liver or your kidneys or even upset stomach. A lot of people taking these painkillers are getting like nausea, um, constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux, kind of make you feel like woozy, tired, and you just don't feel like yourself. And so you may have some temporary relief from the pain, but you have other stuff that's going on that now you have to deal with. And so, with the acupuncture and Eastern medicine, we're working to heal your body without all of the negative side effects. In terms of how does sports acupuncture differ from general acupuncture, like a lot of people will go to acupuncture for your basic digestive issues, for stress relief, for relief from blood pressure or high blood sugar, fertility, all these sorts of things. But with the sports acupuncture, we're using a multifaceted approach to help you to relieve pain. And we're specializing in pain. We're able to go deeper in to really get to the root cause. And anybody that's also a specialist is going to be better at what they do than a generalist. So, in my private practice, dealing with pain, I see a lot of folks with neck pain, with pain in their traps, pain in the shoulders, in the lower back, radiating to the hips and the legs, knee pain, ankle pain, so much and so forth. And it's dealing with like the musculoskeletal system, dealing with the joints, dealing with inflammation, swelling, poor circulation, and all of these things. And so, even though the injuries can be in different areas of the body, our approach to them can oftentimes be the same. As a specialist, I go in deep on knowing like the anatomy and the physiology and all of that kind of nerdy stuff in that way, so that when you come in, I already have an idea of what's going on, because this is all I see all day, every day. And I'm able to kind of keep that thinking cap on right on this specific thing, as opposed to one person I'm dealing with fertility and I have to deal with that. And then the next person dealing with digestive issues. And then the next person is dealing with something else. All day, I'm kind of doing the same sorts of things. And even though people get treatments and it's still specialized to what you do, it's still, I already have like a general approach to how I am helping out my clients. So when we look at acupuncture, one of the main things that people may ask is, how does acupuncture work? From an Eastern perspective, we say that acupuncture, the purpose of it is to help with the circulation of your body's chi, or your vital energy, and also your blood. And so we're bringing chi to or from a specific area. And when chi is not flowing, there's it sets up the environment for pain, for injury, because chi is one of those ways in your body's chi, your vital energy, as it circulates through the body. Everything is one of the ways that our body communicates all over. Our brain, when we look at it just from an anatomical level, is our central nervous system is our brain and our spinal cord, and then that branches off into our nerves and things that go into our arms and our legs and our organs and all over the body. And even though chi doesn't necessarily relate just with the nervous system, part of that vital energy of the nervous system, we would say that's the chi of the nervous system. So we want to keep that chi of the nervous system flowing. We want to keep that chi of your muscular system going, that chi of your joints, the chi of your blood, the chi of your organs, the chi of your mind and how you think and your presence and all that. We want to make sure that that's flowing. And chi is something that you necessarily can't see, versus blood is that physical aspect of it. So chi is that vital energy that helps to circulate the blood. But the chi needs the blood as that form to be able to manifest itself energetically. So they work together and they work in tandem. And so if chi isn't getting in, blood isn't getting to an area, again, that area is going to be more susceptible to injury. That area can get colder easily, or if the chi isn't circulating well to or from that area is not going to be able to get healed. And so when we look at the injury process excuse me, when we look at the process of when someone has an injury, it sets off a healing response in the body naturally. And over time, we get better to a certain degree, and that healing process turns off. But when that healing process turns off, we can sometimes have incomplete healing in that area. That's where you can have old injuries, where something that happened a year or two or 10 or 15, 20, 30 years ago, you can still be suffering from that, because that injury has become the new normal. When we're doing the acupuncture, it kind of like shines the light on that area of the body. Because when we look at the skin, your skin has receptors for pain, for pressure, for temperature. And so when we puncture the skin with an acupuncture needle, it sets off an alarm. And it's just a small, the acupuncture needles are hair thin, very thin. It's not like a hypodermic needle that you get when, you're getting something injected or blood drawn from the body. You can actually fit numerous acupuncture needles in the tip of a hypodermic needle. But to get back to what we were saying, when you puncture the skin with an acupuncture needle, it sets off a healing response in the body. And so more white blood cells come to the area, more red blood cells come to the area. The body releases all sorts of pain relieving, anti-inflammatory biochemicals. So we're creating like this biochemical soup in the body that re-stimulates that healing response again. And with acupuncture, it's recommended that you get acupuncture over a course of treatment. And a course of treatment can be anywhere between like 10 to 12 visits. And so with each acupuncture visit, we're re-stimulating the healing process, re-stimulating that process so that your body's ability to heal itself can kick in and have this long lasting effects. Even when you're done with that initial course of treatment, when we check on you months later, you'll still be having relief from that pain usually, versus as soon as you stop taking whatever painkiller that you may be taking in terms of medication, that pain will return immediately. With acupuncture, one of the things that we also may speak about is the gate theory. So the gate theory deals with how our body experiences and processes pain. So, say you stick yourself, get an injury, cut yourself, or whatever in that area. Say you cut the tip of your finger. The You have the injury to the tip of your finger. Your nerves will send a message to your brain, and your brain will immediately send a message back to the tip of your finger that says "ow." When you have an injury, that process is happening over and over and over again when you're experiencing pain. One of the things that acupuncture does in some of the points in acupuncture is that it actually blocks that signal from going to the brain. So say like this point here on your fingers, right in between your thumb, like right between, like if you squeeze your thumb and your forefinger together, you'll see that hump there. And if you press right in that area, you'll notice that it feels kind of numb. This point here actually goes to block off that pain anywhere in the body. So oftentimes people will do this, will press this point if they have a headache, and you'll feel it numb. And as you hold it for like 30 seconds or a minute or so, you'll notice that the pain will begin to decrease, or even go away sometimes, depending on how bad it was going. So one of the things that acupuncture does with gate theories is that it actually closes the gate and blocks the pain, so that and blocks the signal of pain from going to your brain. So it's not like you're not injured anymore, but you just don't experience the pain. And when we don't experience pain, our body fight or flight system is able to slow down and turn off. And when our fight or flight system is turned off, that also is a way that our body's ability to heal itself is able to turn on, and you feel better with the assistance of the acupuncture. With acupuncture, it also releases different neurochemicals or biochemicals, um, like your endorphins and serotonin and dopamine. So these are like your pain relieving, feel good, focus, um, relaxing biochemicals. And so the acupuncture stimulates the release of that. So usually after an acupuncture treatment, people will feel very relaxed for the rest of the day. You'll also probably sleep better, and in that deep sleep, um, that's also where the healing occurs. Most of the time, with most of my clients, while they're getting acupuncture, people actually fall asleep on the table. We'll usually leave the needles in about 20 minutes or so. With the acupuncture, I'm also using electric stimulation, and the different frequencies of the electric stimulation pulsing also causes the body to release different types of endorphins for short-term and long-term pain relief. Um, In addition, with the electric stimulation acupuncture in my practice, everybody doesn't practice like this. So I'm doing the E-stem acupuncture. I'm also having like the infrared heat on, where that's also stimulating the blood circulation to the area and bringing more red blood cells to the area, bringing more fluid to the area. If there's any stiffness, that infrared heat is literally melting away the pain so that um, any waste matter that may be built up in the neck or in the knees or in the lower back or anywhere that's injured, where things aren't flowing to or from that area, that heat allows that circulation to increase to the area. And after we're done, we take out the acupuncture needles and all of that. We'll end with some tuina, which is like acupressure massage. And so all of those things together, along with different exercises that I'll give you that you can do at home, all help um, to stimulate that healing process and help you to be rid of that pain and recover from injury and get you back to the things that you want to be doing. Whether that's just sleeping without pain, walking up and down the stairs, getting back on the basketball court, getting back on the field, being able to pick up your young one, should make love to your wife or whatever, or your husband or whatever it is. All of the basic daily activities of life that we have. Pain is super annoying and injury is annoying because you can't do the things that you regularly would want to do, and you can even feel like an alien in your own body. And so we want to get you back to yourself and how you're feeling so that you can live your life and just live your life to the fullest and ultimately work to achieve your life purpose and do what you came on this earth to do. All right. So, again, I am Dr. Bashar Wilson with New York Sports Acupuncture. If you have any questions, you can put them in. Peace, Buddha. Thanks for tuning in. Saying very interesting. And recovery, indeed. Like, as we get older, also, creator willing, this time next week, I'll be 49 years old. And the older we get, oftentimes, most of the time, we don't heal like we did when we were 12, 13, in our 20s, or even 30s. And so sometimes we need that extra help to stimulate that recovery process. One thing in my practice, I take health insurance. So I'm in network with Aetna, with Cigna, with United Healthcare, and other insurance plans, even some Medicare plans that have those same insurance with them, the Aetna, United Healthcare, Cigna, Empire Plan, even some plans with Blue Cross, Blue Shield may even cover acupuncture. And I take, also people can pay cash, of course. So with that, if there aren't any questions, we will. Here's some of my contact information. You can find me at Dr. Bashara Wilson on all platforms, on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it. You can find me there. If you go to my channel on YouTube at Dr. Bashar Wilson, if you're not watching it from there already, you can check out all of my videos where we talk about everything from sports medicine. We also talk about the different organs and the metaphysics. This medicine, Eastern medicine, is dealing with the elements and the planets and all sorts of interesting ways that our body interacts with nature and the earth and the planets and the sun, moon, and stars, and how all of that relates to your health. I have some videos where I discuss things like that too. I can be reached at 888-375-5444. And on there, we can do a brief evaluation, a free evaluation, to see if the work that I do makes sense for you and the type of health conditions that you may have in terms of sports injury. And also, I help people even online around detox and cleansing, but that's another video where we can discuss some of that. And you can check me at newyorksportsacupuncture.com to get some more information around that. What brought me into this field is herbal medicine. Now, herbs, we call herbs the forgotten food. And herbs are going to provide those nutrients, um, those earth based bionutrients that are going to help to strengthen our chi, to move the chi, to strengthen the blood, to move the blood, to clear excess heat in terms of inflammation to the body, to warm the body up if you get the cold hands and cold feet, stiffness in your knees and joints that's worse when it's cold and rainy outside, or overall sense of chilliness in the body. And so on my website, manifestherbs.com, I have all sorts of herbs on there for cleansing, like your colon cleanse, detox cleanse, parasite cleanse. I have a joint pain tea. I have all sorts of things: men's formula, women's formula, the five horsemen formula, man's resurrection. Those two are for like the male reproductive sex power, to give you that extra oomph and in the bedroom, and even in general, to give you that extra oomph with your creativity, so that you can do what you need to do as a man or woman, and conquer the world in the way that you see. Um, and that is about it. So Brooklyn Buddha says, definitely going to follow in all platforms. Thanks, Dr. Wilson. You already know, my brother, I appreciate all the formalities, but we go back to the sandbox. So appreciate you tuning in, my brother. And with that, if there aren't any questions, I'm on Instagram here, and thank you all for tuning in. I know it's late, and I am about to take it down so that I can get some rest, and you get some rest too. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.